Hey, Shalom. First off, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakwakadash, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give it up honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who has taught me this truth. I want to give it peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth who teach this truth and rest of life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Lord, one of the videos edifying. Lord willing, I can get something from this video. Basically, what I'm going to get into is that, the Lord is going to beautify Israel. Okay. We understand that, we're under the curses, man. As a matter of fact, I'll go to a couple of them. Real quick. And, it goes into detail about the things that we went through and the things that we're currently going through. Okay. But, and it's evident that it only fits a certain group of people, which is the so-called black, so-called Native Americans, so-called Latino or Mexican man. You know what I mean? And by way of your father's side, not your mother. Because your father is what, his seed is what makes you an Israelite, not your mother's seed. Okay? Or not, your mother doesn't have a seed, but not your mother doesn't have anything to do with your actual race, for lack of better words. But if you look at this, right, we're going to go down. And scriptures say what the spirit bears witness with our spirit. So again, it's not a thing of color, and even in Timothy, it says, don't search for endless genealogies, right? Because this thing is by way of faith. Okay. Not everybody could believe in this. Not everybody could have faith in the names Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Okay. Most people are going to have faith in Jehovah or Jesus or whatever, Allah, whatever they call them, you know what I mean? Or whatever they call their gods, you know what I mean? They're not going to be able to come to the truth, man. And you definitely won't believe in this if you are of a heathen, because the heathens can't. Matter of fact, let me grab that real quick, man. Let me grab that right fast. Where am I at? What was it? It was, 2nd Ezra 6 and 56. Gotta be. Where's that? Right here. It says 2nd Ezra 6:50. I started at 54. It says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. See, the Lord has chosen a particular people. Okay, and as a matter of fact, I'll back that up really quick. Because a lot of, contrary to popular belief, a lot of people think that the Lord is, for everybody, and that's not the case. This is Isaiah 14:1. It says, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Okay? He chose Israel, it says, and set them in their own land, right? Which proves that, hey, we're not in the land right now. Okay, hold on. Let me see something real quick. Okay, perfect. Yeah, which proves, hey, we're not in the land right now. It says a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. So you're going to have heathen dwell in Ashdod right now. Okay, the heathen dwell in the land right now. Okay, and you can read that in Revelation 3:9 as well. Okay, it says, and will yet choose Israel and will set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for service and handmaid. See, so that clearly tells you that we're going to have these other nations or these strangers in captivity. Okay, now you might ask who the enemies are, who the strangers are. Okay, well, I'll go to it, right? I'll go to it. I think I could get it in Deuteronomy if I'm not mistaken. 28:1, it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And those nations are talking about the heathen nations. Okay. And to back that up, let's go to Confederate. It's in Psalms right here. Right? Psalms 83:2, it says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. It says, they that hate thee, have lifted up the head. Well, who hates us? The heathen hates us. Okay, let me read further. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. See, in order to cut a people off from being a nation, you have to take away the nation's. You have to take away the nation's. Basically, history, right? You have to take away their practices, so to speak. You have to take away their name and make them, worship something else, okay, other than their power. And then eventually you will have to exterminate the people, okay? But first they do it mentally and then they'll try to do it physically, okay? And it's not just one particular group, it's not just one particular, heathen nation. I know we know Esau is that top heathen nation, but all of them are in cahoots with each other, okay? All from Edom all the way down to Moab, they're all in cahoots and confederate with each other to do this. And this is why the Lord is going to, when we are set up, this is why the Lord is going to give them to us so we can have them in subjection. Okay, it's not a bad thing to have your enemies in subjection. See, a lot of people think they don't have a king-like mindset or, a godly mindset. See, when you're a special people unto the Lord, you don't think that you're going to have servants and handmaids. You think we're going to build up the kingdom? No, we're going to give the blueprint along with following Yahweh Shai, right? But our slaves are going to, work and build up our kingdom. Okay, and it tells you that. Okay, in the scriptures, I believe in Isaiah, if I'm not mistaken, but it tells you that, man. Okay, it said, but you have to know who the heathen is. You have to know, who we're talking about. You have to understand the difference between the godly people and the ungodly people, because there's 3 layers to men. Okay, you got the sons of God, which are the Israelites. You got the sons of men, which are the heathen, and then you got the sons of the wicked, which is the top heathen, which is Esau, which is the so-called white man. Okay, and if you don't think this so-called white man, right, is a devil, right, which devil just means deceiver, then you got another thing coming, man. Because every day they map out something. Their 24 hours don't go to waste as far as what to do to the Israelite people. Just because we're not mentioned, right, in the mass news, and just because their agenda is not brought forth as far as on the mass media, doesn't mean that they're not planning to do something, right? And doesn't mean, and not just for those who know that they're Israelites, but for all, even you 2/3 niggas, they don't care about you niggas just because you sided with them. Okay, they never cared about you niggas because you sided with them. They actually want you to side with them, so therefore they could take you away from your power, because these heathen nations, they don't have a power. This is why they worship idols. This is why, if you look at, they worship things on the left-hand side, right? You can look at anything, right? Look at energy drinks, look at car emblems, look at shoes, look at, just logos and things of that nature. It goes into, or look at their rituals and their sacrifices and things of that nature. It clearly goes into them worshiping something on the left-hand side, and we know it to be, they worship demons, man. Okay, so the Lord's people wouldn't worship things like that. Okay, now we have 2/3 of our people that are tied up in those things as well, but scriptures say that 2/3 are going to be wiped out. Okay, and through the act of reincarnation, they'll be brought back in the kingdom in their right mind, though. Okay, because not everybody's going to get it on this side. Okay, not everyone is going to get it on this side. Okay, only 1/3 in the elect is going to get it on it. Well, really, the elect is going to get it on this side. Okay, Psalms 83, back in 83 and 3, it says, and they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. So you tell me if Israelites have an enemy or not, just off that statement. And you think that changed? That did not change. Okay, they did not. They treat niggas like spoils of war, man. That they treat niggas like it's the leftover. They're not even the people. And when I say nigga, I'm talking about blacks and Latinos and Native Americans, man. Okay? I'm talking about 2/3 of Israel. Okay? Even the elected and 1/3 of Israel, which are Israelites, right? They treat us as if we're nothing, but they're supposed to. But guess what? The Lord said what? Back in Isaiah 14:1, he will have mercy on us, he will redeem us. And then when you go to Romans, it says that what? It says we'll be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, with which if you read about how Yahweh Shai is coming back, being joint heirs with a power as such is more powerful than anything that they could use against you. Okay? And like I said at Kim, you're going to understand and see what Yahweh Shai meant when he said, I should not meet you as a man. Because yeah, he's going to appear as a man, but the things that he's going to come back and do as far as the power he's going to have is not like any immortal man can do. Okay? Any immortal man can't do what Yahweh Shai is coming back to do. Any mortal man can do, but only immortal man can do what Yahweh Shai is coming back to do, which the elect is going to be immortal. Okay, this is Psalms 83. Because when we're changed, Lord willing, I say that in the humblest way. I'm not trying to number myself as far as the elect, but Lord willing, I am one of those men. But if I am one of those men, we're going to be changed in the twinkling of an eye and get those new bodies. Okay, it says, and those new bodies won't be able to go off; they won't be able to die. See, when scriptures say in Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 9, or the 8th chapter and the 9th chapter, it tells you that wisdom is immortal. I believe that's in the 8th chapter. Did a video on it. It says wisdom is immortal. If something is immortal, it can't die. What is wisdom? The law, statutes, and commandments. This truth. Serving Yahweh Shai. So we serve Yahweh Shai. How can we die? Okay, you got a lot of men out there saying that, well, we're not going to get new bodies and woo-woo, blase, and we're in a new covenant now. Well, we're not going to, they say we're not going to live forever in the kingdom. Well, why wouldn't we if we're immortal, and why wouldn't we if we can't go off? See, make it make sense, man. Okay, this is Psalms 83 and 4. It says they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, which is a heathen nation, a so-called white man. Okay. And the Ishmaelites, which is those Arabs, of Moab, which is Chinese, and the Hagarenes, which is, I believe, Ham. Okay, Gebal and Ammon. Ammon is those Japanese. Amalek, obviously, is the small hats. Okay, so, and it goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on, man. Clearly showing you that these are the enemies of Israel. Okay, now let's go back to 2nd Esdras really quick. 6 and 56 really fast. Now that you know who the heathen are. And I'm going to show you how the Lord feels about the heathen. This is 2nd Esdras 6 and 54. It says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and people also whom thou hast chosen. See, when Moses was given the law, he gave the law to Israelites. He didn't give the law to the other nations, okay? It says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Okay? It says, the Lord have made the world for our sakes. It says, as for the other people, which the other people is those who we just mentioned, which are the heathen, which also come from Adam, that thou that has said that they are nothing but be like unto spittle. So they're compared unto spit, and has likened the abundance of them until a drop that falleth from a vessel. So if you have a vessel of water, you have a drop. It's, or if you spit on the ground, you're not worried about the spit. You know what I mean? You don't care about the spit. Okay. It says, 57, it says, now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Okay, it says, but we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, in thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. See, we were given into their hands, right? That's why when you go to Isaiah 14 and 1 on down, it says what it says. Okay, it says 59, it says, if the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? And as a prophet, we have those questions too, but we understand why the world was not given unto us. Yet we understand why, right? Because everything has to play out. Okay. And it says, how long shall this endure? Right. Yahweh Shai told us what to look for. You know, so when we get excited when we hear about, the Third World War prophecy, man. Okay, because we know that the time is at the end. I mean, the time is, approaching the end, man. We understand and we know. Okay, Yahweh Shai said, "Hold will ye have until he come." Okay, that no man take thy crown. Okay, so let me go back to Isaiah 60 real quick, or let me go to Isaiah 60. So now you know who the strangers are. Okay, it says Isaiah 60 and 10, it says, "And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee." See, for in the Most High's wrath, he smote us. Okay? By what? Putting us into captivity, right? We forgot who we were as a people. The heathen had came up very high, we came down very low, just like it said in the curses. Okay, it says, "But in my favor have I had mercy on thee." See, in his favor, just like it says in Isaiah 14 and 1, right? He had mercy on us, and one of the forms of mercy is that we're standing in the land of our captivity, and we're remembering who we are and understanding these scriptures, and they're being broken down like never before. It says, "Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish." So any nation that will not serve us shall perish. Okay, it says, "Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted." Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Okay, let me go to 14. It says, "The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee." See, now we understand of those who came and afflicted us. Okay, we understand that it was the heathen. Okay, we understand who the heathen are. Okay, it says, "And they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet." Now, when you go back to Psalms 83, as far as them taking our name and trying to erase us as far as the people, is that not despising us? Okay? Like, it's plain, man. It says, "And they that despise thee shall bow themselves down." So that means bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. That means that they're going to come and worship us. And that means that we're going to be blessed. Okay, it says, "And they shall call thee the city of the Lord Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee in eternal excellency, a joy of many generations." Okay, you could go down and it tells you about the riches that we're going to receive, but for time purposes, I'm going to kind of go back to Baruch 5 and see if I could grab something out of there. It says, rise and stand high, east and gather for a part of thee foot. I mean, it's nothing in particular I can grab. I mean, this whole 5:1 all the way through 9 could, talks about how the Lord is going to beautify Israel. You know what I mean? But, kind of like how in Isaiah 60. So, I'm not going to read all the way through it. I encourage brothers to do read all the way through it. But, it clearly states that, we're going to come above the heathen, just like in my point in Deuteronomy 28. And 1, right? And they're going to come down very low. But when you go into curses, it tells you that, showing you that we were in a curse, that we're in a curses, it tells you that we came down very low and they came up very high. It says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth." Okay? And he's talking about Israelites being above all nations of the earth. Okay, but when you read 15, it says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and the statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." And when you go down, you can read the curses, and in the curses, it tells you that how we will go to our enemies for the want of all things. Right here, Deuteronomy 28:48. It says, "Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee." And if you look, when they had us in bondage, in the captivity, on hardcore slavery here in the Americas, that happened, man. Okay, that happened. And it also talks about the siege in 70 AD as well, where it says right here in 57, it says, and toward her young one that cometh out between her feet, and toward her children, which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for the one of all things, secretly in the siege and straightness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. And you can read about that. I believe it's in the Maccabees, if I'm not mistaken. But that happened, man. Okay, that happened, man. You know what I mean? And you know, and it clearly tell you, man, that the Lord ain't playing, man. And these curses were, written before that. You know what I mean? So it goes to show you, man, that the Lord ain't playing, man. But just like we were put under the curses, right? When he said he's going to redeem us, that means he's actually going to redeem us. Okay, and then these are all the blessings. So 2 all the way down to 14, 13, it tells you, about the blessings that we'll receive. And indeed, we're going to receive those blessings because prophecy is happening right now. Not only are we seeing the end of America before our eyes, but we're also being risen up across the 4 corners of the earth, teaching and preaching his word, man. In the land of our captivities, it said we shall remember themselves when you go on Baruch, 2nd chapter. Okay, so with that, man, Lord, when the video is edifying, Lord, I can got something from this video. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash. I want to tell you, brothers, keep pushing on to the next Shalom.